On the morning of October 19, 2001, a man named Eli Marsh walked out of Dogtown Common, a 3,600-acre abandoned wilderness in Gloucester, Massachusetts alone, bleeding, and unable to speak for 4 hours. He had gone in with one other person. He came out alone. What he eventually told Detective Ruth Calloway over the next 9 hours is one of the most disturbing accounts ever recorded in Essex County history. Eli Marsh and Marcus Webb had been friends since college. Every October they hiked Dogtown, an old tradition, an escape. Dogtown is not an ordinary place. Once a colonial settlement abandoned in the 1800s, it is now 3,600 acres of dense boulder-strewn forest with no roads, unreliable cell service, and a history that locals don't discuss with outsiders. The boulders there were carved with strange motivational phrases in the 1930s by a man named Roger Babson. Nobody is entirely sure why. What Eli and Marcus knew about Dogtown was the trail map and the parking lot. What they didn't know was that something had been watching that trailhead for a very long time. They had been walking for nearly 2 hours when Eli noticed the compass was behaving strangely. Not broken, it was spinning. Slowly. Clockwise. Continuously. He showed Marcus, who laughed it off. Probably magnetic rock, he said. Probably nothing. But Eli had hiked Dogtown 6 times before and his compass had never done that. He also noticed something else. The birds had stopped. Not gradually all at once, as if something had given a signal he couldn't hear. They had run for nearly 10 minutes before stopping. Eli's account to Detective Calloway was precise at this point. The figure had made no sound, shown no aggression, and had not chased them. It had simply moved. Instantly. Without crossing the distance between. He said it felt less like being chased and more like being watched by something that was deciding something. That was, he said, the most frightening part, the patience of it. Every person who has heard this story says the same thing at this point: don't split up. And Eli Marsh knows that. He has said it himself, in every retelling. But you have to understand, they had been walking for 4 hours. The light was failing. The compass was useless. And the alternative was staying together in the dark with no idea where the exit was. Sometimes the worst decision is also the only one you can see. Eli Marsh told Detective Calloway that he made a decision at that moment, the only decision that felt survivable. He was going to run. Not toward the exit he could not find, not toward Marcus who was gone, but simply away in any direction as fast as he could until he found a road or a light or another human being. He said the thing that drove him was not bravery. It was the certain knowledge, felt in his bones rather than thought in his mind, that if he stayed still in that forest for one more minute, he would never leave it. The search for Marcus Webb began at 6 a.m. the following morning. 43 search and rescue personnel. Dogs. A state police helicopter. They searched Dogtown Common for 11 days. They found his black puffer jacket hanging from a branch 8 feet off the ground with no nearby tree low enough to have climbed from. They found one boot, unlaced, standing upright in the middle of a clearing. They found his phone screen unbroken, battery at 41%, every photo on it deleted except one taken at 4:58 p.m., 6 minutes after he and Eli had separated. The photo showed trees. And between the trees, barely visible, a tall thin shape in a long dark coat. Marcus Webb's case is filed as an open missing persons report with the Gloucester Police Department. No cause. No leads. No explanation for the jacket 8 feet up, or the boot standing upright, or the deleted photographs. Eli Marsh moved to Vermont in 2003. He does not hike anymore. He does not go into forests. He told one interview, years later, that the worst part, the thing that never left him, was not what he saw in the woods. It was what the figure did when he finally reached the road and looked back. It didn't follow him. It didn't disappear in anger or frustration. It simply stood at the edge of the trees and watched him go. Patient. Unhurried. Like something that understood, completely, that this was not over. Only paused. This has been the Midnight Ledger. If you ever go to Dogtown, and people do, every day stay on the marked trail. Keep moving. And if your compass starts to spin, don't wait to find out why.